Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Pastor Phil, and we are the only church in the universe that starts services with the Doobie Brothers. So,
Are you absolutely sure?
I am, I'm about as sure as I can be. I just, yeah. So, how is everybody this week?
Good.
Gorgeous weather. I mean, you're starting to get a little bit cool now, but hey, it is almost Halloween. I forgot to bring my Halloween costume. I forgot that it was this week.
I thought you had it on.
For those of you who didn't hear, he asked me if he thought I had it on. So, yeah.
I didn't have the courage.
I'm glad I didn't say it. I thought it.
You're within throwing distance. I can't throw that far. A flatterer is a man that tells you your opinion and not his own. When a man speaks of his strength, he whispers his weaknesses. You don't have to believe everything, just make you stop and think for a while. That's always a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Ever wondered where this word came from? In the early days of filmmaking, the people working the sets, in other words, moving around, were called movies. And the films were called motion pictures, of course. So I always kind of wondered where that change happened. I thought it was kind of an abbreviation of motion pictures, but no! So now you know where movies came from. And I used to be able to spell that when I was a little kid. Hey, can we go to an MOVIE? Yeah. I'm not going to repeat myself. Watch it on YouTube. Racehorses are very high-strung animals. Trainers learned long ago that they enjoyed a stallmate, and goats were found to be soothing friends. But the use of these animals had its dangers. After a horse became fond of a goat, he or she would become very upset at being separated from their friend. Knowing this, gamblers used to steal a thoroughbred stallmate a couple of days before a big race. This would upset the horse and reduce his chances of winning. For this practice, to get one's goat came to stand for making a person lose their temper. All kinds of good stuff today. Great stuff. We do have a couple of patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. And we love them, even though they're parted. Hi, guys. John, all we're saying, hey, give peace a chance. We've heard that one before. And if George was still alive, I'd actually kind of be worried. Hi, Toby. Be worried about this one, but hey, he's not here and he already said it, so there you go. It isn't fair. The caterpillar does all the work and the butterfly gets all the glory. Yeah, probably true. No, it is true. Oh, I guess, speaking of butterflies, an inadvertent plus on all the drought in California. Everyone is going towards more natural plants and sometimes less plants. But guess what they're planting? Milkweed. And that is the only plant that butterflies, or monarchs specifically, will breed on. So I guess it's doing them a good thing. So hey, buy some milkweed and plant it in your yard. So it's always a good thing. Right, Mike? Mary? Right? Okay. Will Rogers on getting older. The older we get, the fewer things we seem worth waiting in line for. True? Some people try to turn back their odometers. Not me. I want people to know why I look this way. I've traveled a long way and some of the roads weren't paved. So. And when you're dissatisfied and would like to go back to your youth, think of algebra. Hear you every time. Every time.
I'll let you talk about this one first.
Oh, okay. We have a TENS unit. If you've been to chiropractor in the last decade or two, or a lot of doctors, certainly homeopaths, and osteopaths and everything, they use TENS units. And they charge you big dollars to sit on a table or sit, and we have one. And this is actually not the cheap little ones you buy, but we have a brand new
purple.
one. And it's purple. It is
People
purple.
want the purple.
So if it's purple, it's for you.
And for those of you that don't know what this is, you put the little pads on, and it massages the muscles, basically. And blocks pain and shingles. Good to know.
Sounds like you know that for a fact.
So we are raffling this off. We will sell tickets through towards, we'll probably pull the winning ticket just before Christmas, so you got a few weeks here and I'll be selling them in the mornings, on Sunday mornings when you come through the door. So $10 a ticket. This is a very valuable item. So
Includes extra pads.
$300 value on this. I know this looks like a little iPod, but the pads are underneath here. The rest of the unit is under there. It's a little hard to get it out. Okay, a couple of things. We have communion for November. November. The sign-up sheet for anybody who's interested in putting together the communion that we receive every Sunday morning. It's a fun way for you to do some service, give back to the church. We do need some help with that. So if you would sign your name on the date and then your phone number so that we can contact you as a reminder, that would be wonderful. Just the Sundays. Thanksgiving, believe it or not, is going to be coming up before we know it. We are going to have Thanksgiving here at the church again this year. So for those that would like to enjoy our company, please come and join us. I'll have a sign-up
Or don't
sheet.
want to enjoy their family's company.
I wasn't going to say that, but you. What time have we done it? What was it? 1, I think. Yeah, we start at 1. You can come a little earlier if you'd like for socializing and everything, and we'll send around a sign-up sheet. Joe and I will supply the turkey, and you just can bring the rest of the meal. And I'm telling you, it has just been so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, we sit around, we visit. We had high expectations of maybe watching a movie or something. You know, no, we sit and visit. It is just so much fun. So please join us.
But if somebody has a movie, we could.
Yeah, we could put it on if they wanted. We've got the ability to do that back there. Am I forgetting anything else, Janice? Was there something else I was going to mention? I can't either. So I'm good. Thank you.
Since Back to the Future was just this week.
Yeah. We're here.
We're here. Hey, May. May. Hello. You want to say something?
It's your birthday.
Okay. For those who are interested, I'm offering for donation to the church classes on sign language. And we had one recently, and it was a lot of fun. We gave each other sign language names.
Don't use dirty words, though.
No. And
Show them Halloween. Trick or treat.
this is Halloween, and this is trick or treat. And there are many variations of signs, and it's a lot of fun. There are a lot of people who are very hard of hearing, as myself. I wear 2 hearing aids. And so we teach not only sign language, but also body communication, eye communication. You know how people can pick up. You go in a room and it's ice cold, and you wonder, woo, what did I just walk into? You know, so we talk about those things and giving of your good spirit to other people and how to use everything God gave you to communicate, because communication is so important. And the wrong communication is even more important. So if you'd like to do that, just there's some little cards on the pews. Just write your name and phone number, and I can give you a buzz. We're going to have one on the 31st of this month here at the church, and I will supply papers of signs. There is a book that you can get, and there's free signs on the computer. Just go to Google and Google up, and it's just wonderful, and it's very important. Sign language is the number 2 language in the world. Sign language, because no matter what language we speak, you can understand somebody in sign language no matter what. It's really wonderful. And I'd love to have you.
Thank you. I told the next person I didn't know if I could fit her in or not, but what the heck? So I
knew that one.
Couple of quick things. I apologize because I know you like to get on with stuff and don't want to hear. We want to hear Christopher. Two things real quick. This Friday night, the 30th, is our Haunted Tales evening. Yay. That should be way fun. If you have a story to tell, let me know. You don't have to tell me the story, but just let me know. We've never done it before, so it should be really fun. There's a lot of people in this room that are sensitive and can see and experience things on the other side, and some of them are really spooky. So we're going to share those stories and maybe even share with you how we vanquished them. So that should be really fun. Costumes are welcome if you'd like to wear a costume. That's fun. Also, I had an interdimensional shift class yesterday. How many people that took that? I think the word that I'm hearing is holy wow. So the theory is that we are living multiple lives. We're living this life, and in other dimensions, there's other aspects of ourselves living simultaneously. And if there's something in this life that we could utilize that we may not have the experience for, but another aspect of ourselves did, we can connect with that aspect and download instantly the knowing and the understanding and the power of that. And we did. And it was very cool yesterday. So I've been asked to do that class again. So I've got some sign-up sheets if you're interested. The class is $30. Half the funds go to the church, the other half to me. If you start that around on that side, this on this side, just let me know if you're interested in doing that before Christmas or after the New Year. So I think that's it.
Cool. Thank you. Yes, you do. I try to talk fast too. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's incoherent. Yes. I did that. Oh, there we go. What do bulletproof vests, fire escapes, windshield wipers, and laser printers all have in common?
Invented by women.
Woohoo! Wow. There we go. We have so many smart people in here. Man. What is the only food that doesn't spoil? Honey. Yep. See? Smart people. In Shakespeare's time, mattresses were secured on beds by ropes. When you pulled on the ropes, the mattresses tightened, making the bed firmer to sleep on. Hence the phrase, good night, sleep tight. Oh. I tell you, you learn some stuff at church, boy and girl. Learn stuff. Oh yeah, this will probably get me in trouble, but that's okay. She's all the way back there. An elderly couple, Pauline and Frank, were recently attending a church service at their retirement village. About halfway through the service and everything, Pauline took a pen and paper out of her purse and wrote a note and handed it to Frank. The note said, "I just let out a silent gasp. What do you think I should do?" Frank scribed back, "Put a new battery in your hearing aid." Yes, there was a moment of, what? Oh, okay, I got it. Maybe not so silent. Yes?
One more thing I was
There.
I am looking for, or we are looking for, a volunteer that would like to maybe do some service for the church, and that is to take care of the candles that are there every morning, Sunday morning, that you light. The person that was doing that is no longer doing that, and so it's really it's just a really nice thing to do to help take out the old candles, throw them away, and just replace them with new ones. You can do that just before service if you'd like, and it's just a really fun thing to do in a way to give back to the church again, like the communion sign-up. So if you're interested, come see me or Lori. Lori's got her hand up in the back. Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to sing a song. You know, anybody that is here for the first time expected a traditional Christian service. This is not one. But speaking of sign language and everything, we do have our portable microphones, earphones in the back for the hearing impaired. So, I mean, anybody that needs one of these, they are available. So, rather than going, what?
When you get a chance, that might be turned up a little bit so you can hear.
Better here?
Better there.
Okay, I'll just talk into the microphone and it'll be fine.
That works.
You know, he doesn't require any introduction anymore. He's the comeback king. So, hey, get
Yo.
up here.
Wow, good morning. It's funny, I come in here and I sit up here and I generally read or think about stuff because I don't know what I'm going to talk about right away. And I turn around and wow, all these people are here. Awesome. Well, good morning and namaste. As usual, I have no idea what I'm going to say today. Matter of fact, last night I said, I'm going to prepare for church tomorrow. Not. I don't know how many books I pulled off the shelf. There must have been 15 on the floor. Had a cup of coffee there going, this is not working. And I hear this voice, you know, in my head. It goes, yeah, you're right. That's not how to do it. So I'm just going to freestyle it like I always do and trust Spirit. I drove, I live in Pasco now, but I came over to the Kennewick side because I wanted to drive along the river to come to church. I really like looking in the river. It was like glass this morning. But there are a lot of people out there running. There's some kind of event that's going on, you know. I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of run probably because they're out there doing their thing and they're really enjoying it. And then there were other people just walking, and there was two people trying to get the dog to do what they wanted to do, and the dog has his own mind. Says, no, I'm not ready to do that yet. So off it was going. And then I pulled over and I stopped for a minute, and I just wanted to kind of contemplate being there and taking in everything. And I love this time of year. It's fall. This is my favorite time of year. I'm from back east originally. Well, originally I'm from the great void, but I really always enjoyed fall back east because the hillsides would just turn into this kaleidoscope of color. It's just beautiful. And I have a friend on Facebook that still lives in my hometown, and he's a photographer. And so I'm still seeing these wonderful, beautiful pictures of fall and what it looks like, and it always takes me home. Of course, that reminds me of a lot of other things about home, too. And we lived on a house that was kind of high up. And if you look down out of the big picture window in the living room, and it was an older house, and it was the radiators, yeah, steam radiators, yeah. I, as a kid, bounced on the sofa and cracked my head. But that might be why I'm the way I am. But I could look through that window and look down and see the Housatonic River. And my mother, bless her heart, whenever I wanted anything, I would go into the kitchen and I'd get on my hands and knees and I'd go, oh, great queen of the Housatonic. Worked every time. I'm sorry, Mom, I had to tell that. But there were some wonderful memories from that time. And as I was sitting by the river this morning and looking out at the water, and where I was looking, it was just like glass. And the trees and the brush on the other side were being absolutely mirrored in the water. So there was the reality, and you could say illusion, or you could say the reality illusion, however you want to look at that. But it was just so beautiful and so peaceful, and there were a couple of loons floating around in the water, and it said, you know, it's really important to take time and just be in awe of what life truly is, because we're all part of that. And sometimes in the hustle and bustle of getting things done and making a paycheck and paying bills and doing this and running here and running there and, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. We forget the beauty of what we are, what we truly are, and how magnificent and beautiful we truly are as people. We are just one person. And it's so amazing. You know, it's funny. Last night I was beating my head, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? I come in this morning, I always like to open the hymn book and look, and I opened it up to the River of Jordan. And I just want to share with you the words from this song. It just hit me because it's about everything that I want to talk about. And it goes, and it's Peter, Paul, and Mary, by the way. I traveled the banks of the River of Jordan to find where it flows to the sea. I looked in the eyes of the cold and the hungry, and I saw I was looking at me. I wanted to know if life had a purpose and what it all means in the end. In the silence, I listened to voices inside me, and they told me again and again, and this is what they say. There is only one river, there is only one sea. It flows through you, and it flows through me. There is only one people, there's only one and the same. We are all one spirit, we are all one name. We are father, mother, daughter, and son from dawn of creation. We are one, we are one, we are one. Goes on, it gets even better. Every blade of grass on the mountain, every drop in the sea, oh, every cry of a newborn baby, every prayer to be free, every hope in the end of the rainbow, every song ever sung, is a part of the family of woman and man, and that means everyone. And then once again they go, we are only one river, we are only one sea, it flows through you and it flows through me. We are only one people, we are one and the same. We are all one spirit, we are all one name. We are father, mother, daughter, and son. From dawn of creation, we are one, we are one, we are one. That's what I picked up and read when I walked in here this morning. I went, okay, I get it. What is really significant about that is I talk about that almost every time I come here, the fact that we are one. We have a hard time holding on to that concept. We really do, all of us. I even struggle holding on to that concept. But the truth of the matter is, that is really what it is. We are one. We've always been one. We're evolving and growing and as one. There's no change there. If we see change, if we think that's not true, we're looking and thinking in illusion. We're not thinking in reality. In reality, we're just one being. I'm letting that sink in. It really is true. I think you get to a point, and for those of us that embrace reincarnation, I do embrace that. I don't expect to push what I think or believe onto people, but I do embrace that. And I really truly believe we come, bless you, I really truly believe we come in here to really experience a rapidness in our growth, in evolving, and getting closer to that realization of oneness. And we get glimpses of it every once in a while. And sometimes when we get those glimpses of the fact that we are really all one with everything, and not just our brothers and sisters, but with animals and the trees and the minerals, everything. Okay? You can't leave anything out. If you leave something out, or if you're struggling with something, you've separated yourself from the oneness. If you have someone in your life you're struggling with, you're really struggling with yourself. Because that's who they are. They're not them, they're you. They look different, but we're still one. And it's really hard for the human mind to really grasp in that concept. I don't think we can, really. I think it's something you just accept and you step into it, and it is. And you just accept it for what it is. Somebody asked me once, how do I view stuff? And I said, yeah, I really don't. I really hear a hearer, if you will, to the Tao Te Ching, and that is the 10,000 things, and which is basically meaning the wise man does nothing and therefore does everything. If I think I have no thing, I have all things. That makes sense. It does to me. But it's hard for us to walk around. Even after this service is over, we almost immediately go back into what we're comfortable with in our thinking. You know, I work at a ropes course or a challenge course because I like to climb things. I'm kind of, I don't know, I like to do that. I like to be in high places and look down. It makes my heart go, I really like the feeling. A lot of people are very scared of heights. I think I am a little bit, but that's why I keep going up. Anyway, what we do when a group gets there, one of the first things we do is we have them get in a circle so that we can talk to them about how the day's going to go. And one of the things we have, it's a rope circle, they're standing on the outside of it, and on the inside of it, I have a round hula hoop. And I'll go out in the middle and I'll stand in that hula hoop. I'll pretend I'm standing in it right now and say, that's your comfort zone. That's what you're comfortable with. And I said, we're going to give you breaks during the day. And when we give you breaks, you're going to go right back into this comfort zone. But what we'd like you to do when we're doing an activity is to step outside of your comfort zone. And I'll keep one foot in the hula hoop. And I'll say, out here is the learning zone. We want you to come out here and step into this learning zone with us. Trust us to take you to the next level. And it's huge when you do something like that. And that's really what we're doing when we come to church. We're learning. That's what we're doing on this planet. We're stepping into the learning zone. And when we step out of our comfort zone, our comfortable way of thinking, our comfortable way of how we compartmentalize everything that's happening in our lives, time for this and time for that, and I'll do this and I'm not going to do that, oh, I don't like those, oh, these people are okay, those people aren't. All those kinds of things, that's in that little comfort zone. When we step out here into the learning zone, that dissolves. It's gone. It's gone. And when it leaves, that's when you grow. That's when you have those moments of insight. That's when you have Satori, if you will, temporary Christ consciousness or cosmic consciousness, whatever you want to call it, or Kundalini. You have to step outside of the way you're thinking. You have to step into the learning zone, if you will. If you do that, you're going to be out here and go, oh yeah, this is great. Uh-oh. I just saw somebody I don't like. You know what they did to me last year? Oh yeah, that's right. No. And you step out here again. It's not easy. This is easy. Stepping in this comfort zone. That's the easy part. The hard part is stepping out of it and learning and putting yourself out there and realizing that if there's somebody in your life you don't like, that's your teacher. Okay? That's your teacher. You better figure out what's going on because that's you. That's you. I know, it's hard to hear the truth. I have to do it too. Trust me, really, I jump back into this comfort zone all the time. Every time I find myself in, I go, oh, I'm in there. Okay, let's get out. I'm consciously getting myself out all the time. Have I gotten to the point where I'm not in there? No. And I wish I could say that, but that wouldn't be true. I'm working on it. We're all working on it. We're in this together. But the more we work on it, the more beautiful and blessed it can become. And, you know, I'm going to talk about Wayne Dyer again because I like Wayne Dyer. I love him. He's just a beautiful man. And he's given so much. And it's us that's given to us. And he said something, he's doing some free seminars, and he said, for a minute, I want you to imagine that you had a house on the sun. Okay, so I know that seems crazy, but just imagine that you can have a house on the sun. And if you have a house on the sun is our source of light here, on this planet anyway. So you're surrounded by all of this light. There can be no darkness. There can be no darkness. When you step into the light, when you really get there, when you step out of that comfort zone, there can be nothing else. When there's nothing but light, when you're at the source of light, there is really no darkness. So, wow, it's just, when he said that, I just had this really beautiful, wonderful vision, and just, wow, it just swept me off my feet. I just was in awe. And whenever I get that way lately, which is interesting, my mother comes into my mind. She passed away from in a car accident in '97. And whenever I go out in the woods, I always take Mom with me, especially when I'm fishing, because generally a lot of people, I don't have the patience to fish. And I said, well, gee, that's cool. I just like to sit there, and I don't care if I catch anything. This is just like, this rocks, you know. But I always take my mom with me when I go. So if I have something that's on my mind, I've always been able to talk to my mother, the queen of the Housatonic, by the way. And so a lot of times when I'm out there in the woods, because that's where I really kind of feel that real closeness. I feel it here too. I feel it everywhere. But boy, when I'm in the woods, it's just really powerful. And so if I got something that's bugging me, or I really want to get it, I love phones. They have all these different kind of little things. If I got something that's really bugging me, I really want to, kind of sort it out, I have a conversation with my mother. And she's great. She used to say something, and she still does, because I still hear it. And when I was a kid, I went, oh, that's not helpful. This is what she said. Now, I'm going to tell you what she said, so I don't want to be hearing you saying this to me, all right? Because she calls me Chrissy, all right? So she goes, Chrissy, everything's going to be all right. That's what my mother would say. My mother was a beautiful person. She was in that same skin tone as I, natural redhead, just gorgeous woman. She had a heart that was bigger than mine. She was just beautiful. Never had a bad thing to say about anybody. Always looked on the bright side of things. But whenever I had anything going on, she would say, Chrissy, it'll be all right. And I never realized how impactful and how deep those words truly were until I got much older. And when I started really stepping out of this comfort zone and out here, and I realized, you're right, it is going to be all right. It's always been right. It's never, ever, ever been wrong. So even if you're in your comfort zone, it's okay. You won't stay there forever. Trust me. Things are going to pull you out. If it's going on a trip to Italy and seeing all of the things that they built back there, the Roman, when you look at those things, that's going to pull you out. If you go out to the woods or to the beach, a lot of us go to the beach, it's going to pull you out. Things are going to pull you out of that comfort zone, like it or not. It's going to happen. And every time you get pulled out, you're over here. You're going to learn something, and you're going to grow, and you're going to realize the oneness of everything that we really, truly are. It's really what it's about. It isn't about anything else. Whatever you're doing is correct. You can't do anything wrong. You really can't. You might think it's wrong from here, but when you get out here, there's no wrong. There's no right, there's no left, there's no up, there's no down. It just is. The burning bush said to Moses, I am that I am. I am that I am. That's pretty powerful stuff. I am that, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that, I am that, I am. It's everything. Nothing here can be here without the presence of what we call God, including us. Okay? Including us. Everything, every molecule, every electron, every proton, every neutron, the light, everything. You can't, when you get out here, you can't separate from it. It's one. So all those people that, we got to stop that. You know, we can actually, in a day, it would take one day, probably less than a day, we could probably do it in an hour, if every single one of us realized we were one on this planet. No more war. No more war. We'd have peace. It'd be beautiful. And we're headed that way. Like it or not, we're going there. It's going to happen. And if you don't see it this lifetime, trust me, you will see it, because you're coming back. I love it when I hear people say, I ain't coming back. Really? Who do you know? I like to meet them. No, we're coming back. We're going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And that's just how it works. You know? So yeah, enjoy it. Celebrate who you are. Because when you celebrate who you are, you celebrate who we are. Okay? You celebrate who we are. There's beauty in that. So, the only thing I brought with me was a quote from Wayne Dyer. Which is pretty interesting. It's a little quote, and when I read that Peter, Paul, and Mary song, I went, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you did it again. This is Wayne. Give yourself the gift of 5 minutes of contemplation of the awe of everything you see around you. I want to read that sentence again. Give yourself the gift of 5 minutes of contemplation in awe of everything you see around you. Go outside and turn your attention to the many miracles around you. I'll read that sentence again. Go outside. You can do it in here. Don't have to go outside. Go outside and turn your attention to the many miracles around you. That's huge. This 5 minute a day routine of appreciation and gratitude will help you focus your life in awe. This 5 minute a day routine of appreciation and gratitude will help you to focus your life in awe. Is that huge or what? 5 minutes. You don't even have to take 5 minutes. You can take 1 minute, step out of this, out here, and go, wow, I am truly surrounded by miracles, because we truly, truly are surrounded by miracles. Namaste.
Three years ago, when Jan and I were over in Seattle, and this guy right here was in the hospital, there's no way we would have thought that this miracle would be right here today. Just talking to Jan's microphone. You know, some of you know that Christopher, you know, is... Thank you. No, I'm okay doing that.
Get away from me.
That Christopher is a Catholic priest, and, you know, he used to always do Christmas Eve Mass for us here once a year. So, didn't do it last year. We'll see.
It's on YouTube. This one, the last time you did it, it's on YouTube.
Cool.
Now that you've made me cry. Happy tears.
Yeah, that's the only time it ever happens, right?
Moving right along. Communion is an opportunity for us to acknowledge this oneness and to acknowledge this divine nature and to acknowledge the miracle. So would you join me in prayer, please? Loving Spirit of light, as we take this in, help us to acknowledge the nourishment of our physical form and to acknowledge the nourishment of our spiritual form. Allow us to walk in gratitude. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. What did you have for breakfast today? As that continues around, would you join us in prayer again, please? Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. Help us to recognize your presence in all of it. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Still waking. Such a push.
Hey, Fred, you want to do this? You were sitting right in line. You're the first person I saw. That's right.
Thank everyone for being here. And today this is our offering. The church has been beautiful and good for all of us. And thank you, Christopher, for being here today. And we would, oh, excuse me. I was just told, nobody heard me.
We heard you.
People right here did. I was thanking Christopher for being here and how good the church is to us and how blessed we are. So this morning, let us give our offering from our heart. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey, Fred, how many
Well done.
miles now?
I walked 12,600.
One step at a
1 mile
time.
at a time.
Get out of my head. Let's do a guided meditation, shall we?